Thanks everyone for coming here again, coming back again after the short break. So we're going full on, basically, full on theory, full on thought, full on think revolution, thought revolution, think revolt. Yeah? Mind revolutions, triggering them, and the incubations will happen later. Everyone will go home and think, and many things will happen, I'm sure. So, we're really glad to be able to do this here at the occupied Middlesex University mansion in Trent Park, which is occupied for political reasons, yeah, for good political reasons, and we're turning it from this opportunity of occupation that we have to a space in which we can freely, freed from the boundaries of institutions, disciplinary boundaries, whatnot you have, freed from these boundaries. We just want to explore what education, what thought, what theory can be like, yeah? And we're very, very happy and proud and honored to have three great, we're all, I think, all theorists and philosophers. Everyone is a philosopher, if you ask me. But we're proud to have three particularly distinguished theorists and thinkers and radical thinkers with us here today, who are going to talk, who are sitting here at the nodal points of our kind of experimental setting. And these are David Cunningham. Callinicos, and our very own Peter Hallward. My name is Bijak, for those of you who haven't the topic today, the theme, I mean, we want to have a free space for conversation, so as in our transversal space that we have here. So again, as in the previous talks or conversations or presentations or transversations, or we encourage everyone to participate. But the theme, let's say the guiding theme for this talk today is how do we today think radically in a particular thought tradition, out of that tradition, beyond that tradition, with that tradition, and that tradition, of course, is Marxism. Yeah. So we want to know for radical thought, what do we do with it? How do we in the 21st century appropriate or conceptualize or maybe reconceptualize or maybe go beyond this tradition that we have. So we would like to first, I think, hear maybe Alex. This.
Okay, well, thanks very much. First of all, I want to say that this is an absolutely fantastic event. To wander into a place that is occupied and listen to people talking about the struggle in Iran and the deeper cultural and analytical implications of that and so on is a great thing. And I also want to express very strongly my solidarity with all the people here, both students and staff, in philosophy at Middlesex, in resisting the, what can I say, cretinous Philistine management that you clearly suffer under here. I mean, I teach at King's College here in London, and we're having a few problems with management, but I mean, Jesus, yours are in a category of their own, and I want to mention one, and therefore I think what you're doing is extremely important, because I think British universities are at a critical point where the neoliberal transformation of universities could take a qualitative turn for the worse as a result of the cuts that, as we're constantly told every hour on the news, whatever government eventually emerges will drive through. But I do feel I can't be here in Middlesex without mentioning your distinguished Dean of, Arts and Education, in Eshe, because I think he is going to be immortal thanks to the work, his his dismissal of philosophy in Middlesex as offering no measurable contribution to the university, because of course that way of thinking about universities, thinking of universities purely in quantitative and monetary terms, sums up the kind of transformation of universities that are going on in this country. And in a way, well, if we're talking about a resistance and critical thought, one question to address is, how do we answer Ed Escher? Because it's, of course, there's a kind of romantic, almost spiritualist conception of education, particularly higher education, which is quite deeply embedded in most European cultural traditions, and it's very easy just to sort of appeal to some romantic notion of creativity as the standpoint from which Escher is exposed as, you know, a complete Philistine, someone like Mr. Gradgrind in Hard Times. But it doesn't seem to me, for genuinely critical and revolutionary thought, that simply appealing to that romantic conception of creativity and development is sufficient. And I have genuinely been thinking about what would be the best way of answering someone like Escher when it comes to talking about what universities do. Now, that's not what I want to focus on tonight. I want to talk much more, but I just want to flag that up as an issue. If we reject the neoliberal conception of the university, what's our alternative? And I think there's a lot to be thought and said about that. But I want to talk about a grounding for critique that's much broader and deeper than simply responding to the Philistines of Middlesex University or any other university at the present time, because we've all got them. And I do see Marx as the crucial reference point here, partly because if we look at Marx's development as a critical thinker and a political revolutionary, the notion of critique and a changing conception of critique is a key thread that runs through that development. If we look at how Marx develops in the course of the 1840s, when he's a young radical philosopher, like a lot of the people here today, I'm an old would-be radical philosopher, you see him moving, you can sum up his development as a move from the critique of philosophy to the critique of political economy. In other words, Marx starts off developing a critique of philosophy, which he primarily conceives in the form of Hegel's philosophy, where he comes to see the very object and constitution of philosophy as profoundly flawed and misleading, constructing an imaginary world of the idea, which is a distorted and hypostatized and legitimizing symptom of a world, a social world, which is profoundly antagonistic and profoundly at odds. And the movement of Marx's thought is from that critique of philosophy, which doesn't really start with him, but with Feuerbach. Many of the themes I just referred to are initially elaborated by Feuerbach, to the critique of political economy. And the critique of political economy is critical, is a crucial shift, because it's through the critique of political economy, above all through the critical analysis of capitalism as an economic system, that we can come to an understanding of the antagonisms of the social world that generate this imaginary, purified, apparently rational and transparent world of philosophy. Now, I think that shift on Marx's part is a fundamentally productive move. It's not unproblematic, because in the process of moving from the critique of philosophy to the critique of political economy, Marx comes to the view that philosophy itself is, as a particular form of intellectual activity, something that has been transcended. At points, for example, in the German ideology, he thinks it can simply be replaced with a kind of positive empirical science of the social world. And for